Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just got done shooting my unboxing of the new Sony PlayStation 5. I also got Spider-Man Miles Morales and Godfall. And I left the stuff sitting right there. As you can see, I got the same t-shirt as well. But hey, it's morphin' time! Nonetheless, here I am. I'm going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 3, The Heiress. Let's get into it. So this episode picks up right where the second episode left off, with Mando, Baby Yoda, escorting this frog lady to her planet. Or not to her planet, as we see in this episode. It's more like this central hub where people, like, you know, fish and have shipments. It looked like a harbor, if you will, a harbor part of the planet. And her husband's there. She meets up with him, reunites. He's like, oh, you're missing some of the babies. What happened there? And you see Baby Yoda pop another one in. That didn't happen, but that would have been hilarious if he just pulled out another one and just... I think he's had enough by now. But nonetheless, we get back to what this whole journey was about. This little sub-journey within the big journey. You know, Mando decided to help out this frog lady because her husband supposedly has seen some Mandalorians in this planet. And he's like, yeah, right over there. And then you see my girl Sasha Banks, WWE superstar, just chilling over there in a big old black coat. And then she just vanishes when people pass her. It was a pretty cool effect. I always like when they do that in movies or shows. And, you know, Mando tries to track her down a little bit. He runs into a guy, this little squid dude who's got, like, tentacles for a chin, I guess. He's like, yeah, I'll take you to some Mandalorians. I'm like, what about the one over there? Like, no, I'll take you to some Mandalorians over here. So he brings him onto a ship. Long story short, it seems like these guys know exactly who Mando is. They know exactly who the child is. They entrap the child into this, like, little hot tub they have on their ship. They put a cage over it after they push Mando inside. Mando's stuck in there. He's trying to open the cage, but they're like stabbing him with their spears. And then you see lasers come out of nowhere. 3 Mandalorians drop. At first it's just one. It was a lady Mandalorian. She's beating the hell out of these dudes. Then another lady Mandalorian drops in. And then a dude Mandalorian drops in. There's a team of 3 Mandalorians dressed in blue. They looked freaking awesome. I know Jango Fett had some blue on him. His main armor was a little more silverish than blue, like his underclothes were, but they had some blue armor, and they looked sick. They looked really cool. I was really excited to see this. I was like, yo, who are these guys? This is awesome. I enjoyed watching these guys throw down more than the other Mandalorians throw down, you know, from Season 1. They help Mando and Baby Yoda get out of that little hot tub thing, and then they take their helmets off. And Mando freaks out again, just like he did in the first episode of this season when Cobb Vanth took his helmet off. He's like, where did you get that armor? I need to bring it back. It's part of the code. And then, you know, this lady, the lady who's leading the trio, she's like, my name is Bo-Katan. I am, you know, this and this person. She's a very important person in Mando culture. I quickly learned that she is from Rebels. I'm not sure if she's from Clone Wars either, but definitely Rebels. She wielded the Darksaber at some point, and she's looking for it in this episode. Later on, she's questioning one of these Imperial Guards that's on this ship. You know, where's the Darksaber? Who has it? The Darksaber, I meant the Darksaber, I'm sorry. She's questioning someone for the Darksaber. So, and like I said before, I think I alluded to it in my first video, my recap of the entirety of Season 1, I learned that the Darksaber is heavily involved in the Mandalorian mythos. And we get more of that in this episode. This Bo-Katan lady, from a person who hasn't seen Rebels yet, I've only seen the smallest bit of Clone Wars, but for someone who hasn't seen Rebels, they made it kind of clear what the Darksaber is all about in this episode. Without really giving it like a whole 5-10 minutes, they had one little moment when Bo-Katan threatens this Imperial Guard, asking him, where's the Darksaber? And it really solidified this as, so this is important. This is very important and crucial to not only the show, but to Mandalorian culture. And yeah, I was really invested in these characters. I don't necessarily know who the guy is or who Sasha Banks' character is, but it was still fun to see them all, and the lady who played Bo-Katan is a really great actress. I think I've seen her maybe once before, but she was really great as this character, and I bought into them being these Mandalorians, these tough SOB Mandalorians. Sasha Banks, on the other hand, I enjoyed her in this role, obviously. I'm a big wrestling fan. I love Sasha Banks. She's an incredible performer. And she didn't get many lines in this, and I can understand why. She's not a seasoned actor. She's not really well known for acting. I mean, yes, acting is heavily involved in WWE programming, but, you know, like, big screen, silver screen, TV acting, she doesn't necessarily have a lot of that. So I understand we weren't going to get a big role with her. So I'm glad that they kind of bundled her with the trio of those Mandalorians. I'm glad she wasn't like this super important side character. But it would have been cool either or. I really enjoyed her presence in here. She was really awesome. She was kicking ass. Now, if we can go back to Bo-Katan in that Imperial Guard when she's questioning him, back it up a little bit. So this whole story is basically Mando's trying to find more Mandalorians to escort him to find some Jedi, or at least Baby Yoda's people, so that he can return to him, because that's what his whole journey is now about. And he discovered the Mandalorians on this planet. He asked them for help, and they said, yeah, we'll help you, but we need your help on something. And that's, of course, the whole gist of this whole series. Mando and Baby Yoda have to do their thing, but they also need help from others, and they can't get that help from others if they don't return something It's a two-way street, but it makes for interesting episodes. It really makes for interesting dynamics episode by episode. I don't feel that this show is turning into an episodic thing. It's more continuous with some side stuff, but everything is connected. Everything feels connected. This episode is strongly linked to the previous episode, in which I thought was kind of a letdown compared to the season premiere. The season premiere was phenomenal. And even though that took place in a very small, contained part of the world, which was Tatooine, or the part of the galaxy, I should say, it still plays a decent, big role in the entirety of the show. And that's what I really enjoyed about the second episode and this episode. The third episode really amped the second one for me, because the second one was really just Frog Lady heavy, and Baby Yoda eating her offspring was about the biggest... the biggest thing coming out of that episode, really. So anyways, Bo-Katan and her crew, they request that Mando help them on this little mission that they have, going on to some Imperial boat that becomes a plane, of course, or a spaceship at some point. And yeah, it was a pretty cool sequence to see them all go down the halls in this big old ship, and to see Bo-Katan and her crew leading the charge. Mando, for once, is like in the back. Like, he's like, whoa, he's taken back by how dope and how awesome these three are. It's kind of like the other way around with that one episode called The Prisoner from season 1, where Mando is helping these ragtag scoundrels help intrude a rebel base. It's like the complete opposite of that, and it's awesome. In that episode, you had Mando leading the charge while all the scoundrels were like, damn, he's really good. Let's kill him. It's like, yeah, it was really cool to see that concept was really flipped in this one. There were 3 other Mandalorians that we've never seen before. In the show. We've seen them in Rebels. I haven't. You guys have, probably. But we haven't seen them before, and they're taking charge. Mando's like, damn, these guys are good. Let's kill them. No, he didn't say that, of course. Baby Yoda probably wanted to eat them. I don't know. I don't know what goes through that little kid's head. Anyways, the Imperial Guard is talking to Moff Gideon. For the first time, we've seen him in this season. He's talking to him. He's like, yo, can you send me some backup? The Mandalorians are back there. Freaking Mandalorians. S for plural. Mandalorians are in the back of the ship. He's like, well, if they're already halfway there, it's too late. You know what to do. Long live the Empire. And he didn't talk like that, but, you know, he talked like Giancarlo Esposito does. In that one little moment he had in this entire episode, I felt his presence in the scene, and he was just a hologram. He was just a hologram. And I felt the power from him as he spoke to his, his lesser. He's telling him, drop the ship, basically. So he shoots the 2 pilots, moves around the way, starts plummeting the spaceship into the water very slowly because they're like super high up. The Mandalorians get to the cockpit, they remove the guy. The guy bites down on some electric thing that kills himself, so he couldn't confess on where the Darksaber is. Bo-Katan's mad, throws his body to the ground. They managed to save the ship, thankfully, at the last moment, so thank God for that. Once they finally stabilize the ship, Bo-Katan is talking to Mando. She's like, look, I know where you can find a Jedi, possibly. There is this one planet, and you can find Ahsoka-Tan. Ahsoka! From Clone Wars. I know her. I know that name. Briefly, yeah. Again, I really need to catch up so I can understand, where Ahsoka is at in her life. Because I know there was a journey there. I do understand that. I'm really excited to see where Ahsoka Tano's role is in The Mandalorian. And how she's going to help Mando and Baby Yoda. I'm excited for the rest of the episodes. We got 5 more left. Let them come in. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know down below, did you enjoy this new episode of The Mandalorian? Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you enjoy my content. I just put up a PS5 unboxing. Let me know what you guys think. Stick around, because there's always more to come.